Welcome back to the First and Gold podcast. I am your host, Sam Gold, and today we are doing another tier list, specifically another logo ranking. And as you guys can see by the title, it's time to do the MLB. Now, if you guys are enjoying these logo rankings, we have already done the NFL, the NBA, the NHL. So now, of course, we got to round out the four major American sports with some baseball. But if you guys are enjoying our tier list and our channel just in general, go check it out. We have tons of rankings, tons of other videos as well. So if you guys haven't already, check out the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also comment down below what your favorite MLB logo is. So let's jump right into it. We got our classic tier list, S through F. And it's in alphabetical order. So with that being said, we're going to start with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Right off the bat, I mean, with all these logos, I'm going to be completely honest, this might be a more skewing negative video for me. I don't love a lot of these MLB logos, and we're starting with the Diamondbacks, where the colors are fine. I like the outline. It does give it like a deserty vibe to it, and I see the diamonds in the logo, of course, but I don't know. At the end of the day, it just looks a little confusing to me. Now, I don't know if there's like a hidden meaning or something hidden in the logo that I'm not seeing. Comment down below if there is. But overall, at the end of the day, it's still just an A with like kind of an odd design along with it. The colors are fine. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and put it in C tier. Maybe I'll move it up to B tier, depending what else is going on in this tier list. But for now, C tier. The Atlanta Braves. I like the font, and I do like, what is that, an axe on the bottom? I don't mind that. The colors are pretty generic, just red and white, it looks like. But do I like it better than the Diamondbacks? I would say yes. Like, if I were to buy a hat, this looks like a pretty solid design to put on a hat. Like, it's just nothing, it's nothing crazy. It's just not good. It's not bad either. So I feel like it's a perfect start for the B tier for the Braves. All right, the Baltimore Orioles. Now, right off the bat, love the colors. The black and orange really pops. I like the character. I like the Oriole bird. He's smiling. There's like debates online whether or not his mouth is open or closed. It's obviously closed. I mean, I don't even watch baseball that often, and you could just tell. I like that the eyes, you know what kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of like a cereal box character almost. I like that it's the bird also wearing a baseball cap along with it, which I think is cool. I mean, I'm looking around. I don't know how many we're going to end up putting in the S tier, so I'm just going to go ahead and put the Orioles in S tier to start because it really pops. It really does. And I like the character a lot. So, yeah. S tier. All right. Red Sox. Super classic. I'm going A tier. Now, some people might just, you know, strip it down to like, Sam, there's just two socks next to each other. Like, it's not that crazy. But listen, I know I'm ranking it pretty much based on aesthetics, but at the same time, and I'm not a huge baseball fan, so I don't know tons of history behind these teams, but I do know, obviously, the Red Sox are one of the most iconic franchises, not only in baseball, but in sports. So if I recognize a logo off the bat quickly and I know it's an iconic franchise, that is going to help for the most part with these rankings. And the Red Sox kind of just fall into that tier. So although I kind of understand, yeah, it's just a pair of socks at the end of the day. I mean, I don't know. There is just something classic to it. I really enjoy just looking at it. It's very simple, sleek, and it really does remind me of baseball. So sorry, some people might not like it, but I'm going to go ahead and put it in A tier. So the Cubs, another classic team, but now this is kind of an example of the opposite where, I'm sorry, I just don't love the logo itself. I get it, like, there's a C in the middle of the circle, and then obviously, you know, it spells out Cubs. It has the colors red and blue. For me, kind of boring, but at the end of the day, like, it's fine. It's just a circle. It really doesn't do much to me design-wise. It's very plain. Like, not in a good way. Like, the Red Sox are plain, but in a way that does capture your eyes. This one is just like, all right, like, you know, it's just Cubs inside of a circle. So I won't go F tier just because this team is too classic, but I'll definitely go C tier. And just looking at it next to the Diamondbacks, this might be more cause for me to put the Diamondbacks in B tier. So I'll still wait till the end of the tier list to move it, but I don't know. They're both bad, but the Cubs are specifically worse. The White Sox. Now we got another Sox team, but this one isn't as fun as the Red Sox logo, in my opinion. Although I do like the design. I like the black and white coloring, unless that's silver. No, it's black and white for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like how it's going down a little diagonally. Like the letters are going into each other. I just like the word Sox, S-O-X. Like, I just think it's cool. So overall, I'm going to put it in B tier. Not A tier. It's not on the level as the Red Sox, but I like it. I like it. It's a good design, and I like the colors a lot. All right, Cincinnati Reds. I don't know. There's some bad ones coming up, but, like, this one, This one's kind of the same boat as the Cubs for me. So I'm going to go ahead and put it above the Cubs. It's slightly better, but I don't know. It actually kind of reminds me of the Bears logo, Chicago Bears, that C. I get it. It's red. It's the Reds. It's just very boring. It's just one of those, again, where it just, like, shows, you know, certain letters for the city and then the name inside of kind of like a circular design. So overall, it's fine. Just looking at this now, I am actually going to move up the Diamondbacks to the bottom of B tier because these two are just not on the same level. I believe this is the Guardians. Now, they just changed their name pretty recently because they were the Cleveland Indians before, and then obviously there's tons of protests about it and the name, and is it racist, blah, 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 whatever it is. We're not here to discuss that, but guys, like the Guardians, I mean, it's kind of like with the Commanders in the NFL. Like, you change to a pretty generic name. Guardians is like whatever. It's just no one cares. It's not gonna hurt anybody, but it's not gonna excite anybody. But like, you can still make the logo somewhat cool, especially if you're doing a redesign. Like, there's so many people out there that know graphic design, and you're gonna go with a red C that literally could be for anything, any company that starts with a C. Like, you have no idea this is the Guardians unless you're literally a huge baseball fan or you're doing an MLB logo tier list like I am. Like, this has to be possibly the worst logo in sports. I mean, this is terrible. It just feels like a panic. They're like, I don't know, just draw a C. Just draw a C. So this is awful. Easy F tier. Just what the f? That's just terrible. Colorado Rockies. I like the colors of the Rockies. It's a little bit similar to the White Sox, which is going to make me seem hypocritical with this ranking. I am actually going to put it in C tier. I don't know. Just looking at the two next to each other, the Sox and the Rockies, I just don't think the design, maybe it's the font. It's not as cool. I mean, it's just similar. It's got the C going into the R. But at the end of the day, like, you're the Rockies. I would like to see maybe more like mountain-themed logo. I don't know. I'm going C tier. Detroit Tigers. I like the font of this D. I'm not sure if they, you know, why they did that on purpose or not, but it reminds me a lot of like the New York Times, like newspaper font. I mean, it's just plain white, but at the end of the day, I have to commend them for at least making it look interesting for just a D. So with that being said, I am going to put it B tier. I'll put it towards the bottom, but I think it is unique. It is unique. So I'll give them points for that. Houston Astros. Now, it's somewhat similar in design to like the Cubs with the circular design, but it does feel a little more detailed. I do like the colors better. I like the font of Houston Astros, and I do like the H with the orange star behind it. And I think I like it more than a lot of these B tier teams. So actually, I'm actually going to put the Houston Astros like smack dab in the middle of B tier. I think it's very solid. I could see it like looking like a really nice patch on a shirt. I would wear it on a hat. Like, I don't know, there's something about it compared to like the Cubs that I just like a little bit better. It's a little more well detailed in design. So I'm going to go B tier. Kansas City Royals, A tier. I love this logo. I love the fact that they incorporate this logo into the stadium. I'm a huge Chiefs fan. I've been to Kansas City. I've seen the Royals Stadium in person right next to Arrowhead Stadium. It looks great. And they incorporate that crown on the side. And I just think, you know, for a team like this, the Royals, obviously, that means, you know, you're higher up, you're royalty, you're going to have a crown somewhere. I also love the colors as well. The light blue is nice. The gold is really, really nice. So it's just one of those simple, sleek designs that just works for the team itself. And it's near perfect. I'm not going to put an S tier, but definitely A tier. I like the Royals logo. This is the Texas Angels. Man, as someone who doesn't watch baseball, I don't think I ever think about the Angels, like literally ever. And this is a Texas team. So this is Dallas. This is Dallas's baseball team. But I don't know, I just never think about the Angels. But, I mean, you got to give it props. Like, yes, it's a red A, but then obviously it has the halo around the top. It's the Angels. Somewhat creative. And I do like when a team incorporates the name of their team as a specific design to their logo. Kind of like what I just discussed with the Royals. So yeah, I am going to put the Angels in like B tier. I think it's very solid. Nothing crazy, but the fact that they did put the halo at the top definitely helps. All right, next up is the LA Dodgers. Now this has to be a new logo because, I mean, I was expecting the classic blue logo with the lettering that, I mean, you see all the time. Like, it's kind of like with the Yankees. It's just so iconic where you just see people, even if they don't watch baseball, if they're from the area, from LA, they are wearing a hat with the Dodgers logo on it. Now, I got to rank the one that's in front of me. I still really, really like this one. I've always liked the font of Dodgers, It just gives that old-timey, very Americana, classic baseball font. And I do like the fact that the baseball behind it, you know, it's got the streaks behind it, and it looks like, yeah, you just hit the baseball out of the park, you hit it a home run. So overall, I actually do enjoy this logo. I'm deciding between A and B tier. I have a lot in B tier already. I think out of respect for the Dodgers, I am going to put it in A tier, but it can't go any higher than the other A tier teams. It's going to be at the bottom. The Miami Marlins. I am actually going to go S tier for the Miami Marlins. Half because I love the colors. I love that light blue with the orange. It feels like it's very Vice City, very Miami. I mean, it's just a classic animal that it makes sense. Like, the Miami teams have the Dolphins and the Marlins, kind of similar. Even the Miami font is very cool. So I just think overall it's a very unique design for a team that does fit the vibe of that city. So yeah, I'm going to go Miami Marlins S tier, but not above the Orioles. The Orioles still have a better one. The Milwaukee Brewers, I'm going to put it literally right next to the Houston Astros. I think it's very similar. But I do like that the M and the B in the middle form to make a baseball glove with a baseball in the middle of it. And I do like when teams kind of have that hidden lettering, hidden messaging in their logos. I think they did a nice job of that. The blue and yellow, the coloring's fine. That's why I put it right behind the Astros. I think I like the Astros colors a little bit better, but you always got to give it props for having those little hidden things in their logos. So yeah, Brewers, B tier. Kind of like with the Twins. Also going to put it in B tier, and it's kind of the same thing where, as you can see, the win is underlined in Twins, which I like that. It's got the baseball background. It's got nice colors. It has very similar font to the other two logos, which I like. It seems very classic. It seems like you could wear it on a hat anytime. And yeah, it just seems like your classic American color team and just nicely designed. I like the smaller lettering as well. I think it makes it fit nicely when you can put all certain different things inside of a logo at once. So yeah, B tier. All right, now people might call me a hypocrite for these next two logos because people would be like, well, it's pretty similar to the Brewers and the Twins and the Astros, but might be slightly biased. I am from the tri-state area, very close to New York City. I like these two teams just by being iconic. I'm not like a fan of any baseball team specifically, but I do like their logos and I love their colors. So let's just rank these collectively. Mets, S tier. I'm actually going S tier for the Mets logo. Yankees is a slightly different one. I'm between A and S. It's because I like the Mets colors and the fact that they have all those iconic New York City buildings in the background. It's really close. I love the bridge. They even have a church on the left side, which kind of represents Brooklyn. They are the borough of churches, even though Mets actually play in Queens now. But, you know, I'll put them both in S tier. They're just so classic. I mean, the Yankees, first of all. I mean, both of them have giant baseballs as the background. Gotta love that. And then the Yankees. I mean, that hat is such a classic symbol in not only the MLB, but in sports history. And the Yankees font is perfect. Gotta love the colors. Nice and light. Nice and easy. Them and the Mets next to each other. It just screams pure American classic baseball. I'm going S tier. The Oakland A's. Wow. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I'm going to put this in A tier, which is so funny once again because there's so many of these similar logos. It just helps when the colors are very cool. I like the yellow and green, and I like the fact that the green is more accentuated. I like the font as well of the A. I don't know what it is when it meets the eye that's so different to the three that I put in B tier, but for some reason I've always been drawn to the A's colors and their logo, so I'm going to put it at the bottom of A tier. The Phillies, also A tier. I'll put it like kind of in the middle. I mean, yeah, if you're from Philadelphia, you got to put something iconic from the city behind there. Put the Liberty Bell. Love it. Also, love the colors as well. And the font's pretty cool as well. So I'm going to put that in A tier. Pirates. I mean, just like with the Guardians, what are you doing? It's just a yellow P. Slightly different font, I guess. But like, it's ridiculous. At the end of the day, you are called the Pirates. You go to some other pirate teams, the Bucks, the Raiders. I mean, they did great jobs on their logos. And you're like, just go P. Let's just throw in a P. Like, dude, you could do so much with the name Pirates. And it just pisses me off when these teams are like, simpler the better. Sometimes, but not when you're just putting a letter up there. It makes no sense. F tier, next. Same thing with the Padres. Like, I'll put it just above in C tier because it has a little more to it, I guess. Not really, though. I mean, the only thing you can say about the Padres is that the S and the P, or the S and the D coming together, if you can tell in the middle, there is a P that's highlighted in there for Padres. Like I said before, got to give, I guess, a little bit more credit for the hidden design there, but still overall, it's just such a boring logo. Seattle Mariners. I love that compass design in the middle. The colors are pretty solid. I am still going to put it in B tier. I'm sorry, there's just something about the Oakland A's I like better than the other ones, but once again, very solid. I think people don't like the repetitiveness of these modern logos where it's just the circle and the name and a little design in the middle, but I actually don't mind it. I don't think it's too bad, so that's why a lot of these are going in like B, A tier. The San Francisco Giants. I like this one for some reason. I think it's the colors mostly. I don't know why it kind of screams Gold Rush to me as well, even though the colors aren't gold. It just seems like a very cool Northern Californian team, and I do like the baseball behind it as well. It's very small, but it's classic. It's not too much. Colors are great. I'm going A tier. Okay, the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, if you go watch our NFL videos, I'm usually pretty harsh on the Arizona Cardinals when it comes to a lot of aesthetic things, but I'm going to be positive with the St. Louis Cardinals and actually put them in S tier. I love it. I love the bird with its talons just standing there, hanging on to the baseball, kind of like how birds just stand on, you know, twigs or power lines. I think it's great. I think it's very clever in the design. I like the font of the Cardinals as well. The yellow pops, the red pops. Even the bird is pretty well designed with its feathers. I think it's cool. He looks a little intimidating. I think it's a great design. So honestly, S tier, perfect for the Cardinals. Tampa Bay Rays. Now I can see the stingray. What would you call it? Like the fin? The star, the bright yellow star by the R in Rays is kind of throwing me off. I don't think it's necessary unless there's a big reason that that's there, but I don't really love it. It kind of blocks in the way of seeing the full names, so I don't know what the Rays. I don't love it. I'm actually going to put it at the top of C tier. And that sucks because the Stingrays are my favorite animal, and I like Tampa Bay as well. I think everything fits, but the logo itself just doesn't do it for me. So you could have made it a 6 Stingray, man. But everybody loves to write out the name of the team or just put a stupid letter. So that's what you get. You're going to C tier. Texas Rangers. I'll put it right above the Twins. Very, very classic colors. Maybe it's a cool tee. It's kind of like a saloon font a little bit with the Wild Wild West, kind of desert. I like the stars in there for Texas, and the baseball looks cool in the background. It's pretty well detailed, but overall, just like with these other logos, they're going B tier. Wait, is there a Texas Angels and a Texas Rangers?
Angels are from Anaheim, California.
Oh, I knew it. Okay, scratch that. The Angels are not from Texas, so everybody that just watched the initial ranking, that was one of the first ones I did. I apologize. They're from Anaheim. And I feel like I did know that, because City of Angels, that actually makes it even better. I should probably move it up because of that, but it's still B tier. Well, there you go. That's my vast baseball knowledge on display here, but I'm just ranking logos, right? Just give me a break. But, okay, Toronto Blue Jays up next. It's weird because I do like when they put an animal in there that's pretty detailed, and I do like the Blue Jay itself. And I get it. You're from Canada. It's the only Canadian team. But, like, what are you doing just putting a giant maple leaf by the ear of the bird? Like, it just doesn't really fit that well. It's kind of an odd logo. I don't know, you could have done something like the Cardinals a little bit where you, like, incorporate more baseball into the bird. So, it's not bad enough to put in C or F, but I will definitely put it like towards the top of B. I don't think it's horrible, but it's just kind of odd how the leaf is just there on the side. Washington Nationals, it's fine. It just groups in. We don't have to keep explaining it with these middle ones. It's pretty much the same as that. I do like the W, but overall it's fine. A lot of these teams are like just blue and red, very American, but there you go. I'm actually pretty good with my tier list right now. I think that I'm going to keep everything where they are. Maybe I'll drag the White Sox up to A. That's what I'll do. But everything else, I'm happy with. So, let's go through it once more. S tier, Orioles, Marlins, Mets, Yankees, and Cardinals. A tier, Red Sox, Royals, Phillies, Giants, Dodgers, Athletics, and White Sox. B tier, Braves, Blue Jays, Astros, Mariners, Brewers, Rangers, Nationals, Twins, Angels, Diamondbacks, and Tigers. C tier, Rays, Rockies, Padres, Reds, and Cubs. And then F tier, Pirates and Guardians, which Guardians, man, just truly one of the worst logos I've ever seen in my life. I had a lot of strong opinions here. I'm sure you guys do too. So once again, if you like this video, obviously drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in our channel. And also leave a comment what your favorite MLB logo is and how I did on this tier list. But other than that, go check us out on all social platforms, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at First and Gold. And that being said, we'll be back for another video next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. Goodbye.